Welcome to your lesson about participles and participial phrases. So what is a participle? A participle is a verbal, and that means it's a verb that can be used as an adjective in this case. A participle can end in ing, ed, d, or an en ending. Some examples are smiling, smiled, baked, or chosen. Chosen is that en ending. There are other verbs that have the en ending that we'll talk about more in class. Special note, make sure that you don't confuse a participle with an actual verb. Here are two sentences that are very similar, but in one case the word is being used as a participle and in the other it's being used as a verb. The shrimp gumbo, simmering on the stove, smelled delicious. In this case, simmering is being used to describe the gumbo, so it is a participle. In the second sentence, the shrimp gumbo was simmering on the stove. Simmering in this case is being used to tell me what the gumbo was doing, so it is a verb and not an adjective. Participial phrases is when you have a participle and you have other modifiers and complements that work with the participle. There are sentences here as examples. Climbing the tree, the monkey disappeared into the branches. In this case, climbing the tree is describing the monkey. Tell me which monkey. Second example, I heard him whispering to his friend. Whispering to his friend is referring back to him, describing him. We watched the storm blowing eastward. Blowing eastward is describing the storm. Telling me which storm. Voted back into office, the mayor thanked her supporters. Voted back into office is describing the mayor, or telling me which mayor. And the last example, the concert, scheduled for tomorrow at the park, has been postponed until next week. Scheduled for tomorrow at the park is all referring back to the concert, telling me which concert, so it is a participial phrase. There are a couple of tips and tricks with participles and participial phrases that will help you to remember how to use them and how to recognize them. First of all, when you have a participle or a participial phrase that comes at the beginning of a sentence, it will always be followed by a comma. Then, the most important rule or trick that will help you to remember participles is that you can part with a participle. This means that participles, like all adjectives, are extra information, and so they're not necessary to the sentence and can be taken out and the sentence will still make sense by itself. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.